AC Milan, and the memories of the Flying Dutchman. Dutch football has always been the birthplace of the outstanding talents of world football. No matter at what stage, the football of the Tulip country also creates players that makes the fans proud. Now we have Van Dijk, De Jong, or De Ligt, but upstream a bit, we had Van Persie, Van der Sar, and Van Nistelrooy. And going back even further, the Dutch were extremely proud of the Flying Dutchman of the last century. The football world luckily has always produced illustrious duos or trios in history. And the Flying Dutch trio of Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, and Frank Rijkaard are among them. Not only serving the national team, but this trio also competed for the same club to create extraordinary things together. And the lucky club is AC Milan. Marco van Basten, along with Ruud Gullit and Frank Rijkaard, played for AC Milan for 5 seasons, where they created an unbeatable team at the time, helping AC Milan to win 3 Scudetto and 2 prestigious European Championship trophies. Many people remember Basten with the volley against the Soviet Union in 1988. It was the goal of many factors, from space and time to perfect technique. A lot of people want that moment to be saved in football history. The problem for Basten is that scoring in that position was normal. He can score in any position and in any moment, in any style. He was a very scary striker in football history. A great striker met a great ball maker, and Ruud Gullit was an integral part of Van Basten's career. Gullit was one of the best midfielders of his generation, and even now, he is still considered one of the best midfielders of all time. From the wing, the legendary Dutchman could bundle in and then launch dangerous shots into the goal. What makes them different from the current players is that they can turn the matches into their own stages. With superior technique and intellect, they stirred up all of Europe at the time. Now, the last person in this Dutch trio is Frank Rijkaard. Just like Basten and Gullit, Rijkaard was famous for his ability to play, despite playing as a defensive midfielder. He was full of agility, sensitivity, and skill. A match with this trio was not just a normal football match. The audience became crazy and burned by their extraordinary play. That powerful play so far still shines like a glorious history. Back in the 80s, AC Milan was an invincible team thanks to this talented trio. All 3 players were candidates for the Golden Ball in 1988, which is unprecedented and would never happen again. Before, Italy produced countless outstanding defenders and was the most severe and professional environment on the planet. It was also the golden age of Calciopoli, but it was the time before AC Milan of legendary coach Arrigo Sacchi. That year, the Dutch defeated all Italian and European football. They played very well together at the club, so the Dutch team benefited by the Euro 1988 championship in West Germany. When Berlusconi took control of AC Milan in 1986, his goal was not only to create a strong team, but also to create a super team. To do that, he needed a coach like Sacchi, and Italy's best central defenders, Franco Baresi and Paolo Maldini. As the Milan era began in 1987, Ruud Gullit landed in San Siro from PSV, and Marco van Basten moved from Ajax. The power of money and the training of Sacchi immediately helped AC Milan to get the first Scudetto after nearly a decade. A year later, Milan's squad improved significantly because of the presence of Frank Rijkaard along with Baresi and Maldini. Rijkaard was the best defensive midfielder at the time. Marco van Basten earned the whole world's admiration with his scoring skill, and Ruud Gullit was one of the most creative midfielders at the time. They conquered all of Europe. They won 3 consecutive Scudettos with 58 unbeaten matches, along with 4 Italian Cups, 2 consecutive European Cups in 89 and 90, and 2 Intercontinental Cups. In 1989, after destroying Real Madrid in the semifinals, Milan entered the final against Bucharest. Van Basten and Gullit each scored 1 goal in the 4-0 victory of the Italian team. 1 year later, Sacchi's team again entered the European Cup final, and this time the opponent was Benfica, different from the match a year ago. Gullit and Van Basten were well cared for by the opponent, but at the time, Frank Rijkaard took up the role of a hero, scoring the only goal of the match in the second half, helping AC Milan to get the second championship in the Continental Tournament. The key to the Milan's success was Sacchi's ability to change the game. In defense, they have the best defense in Italy. Above all was Frank Rijkaard, who always knew what his two compatriots would do when the ball appeared. Sacchi's discipline made Milan a unified bloc. Sacchi knew when he should be a manager, when he should be a coach, and when he should let the players play freely. However, football always changes, and glory could not follow a team forever. In 1993, the Dutch trio officially disbanded when Ruud Gullit moved to Sampdoria, Rijkaard moved back to Ajax, and Van Basten suffered a serious injury and could no longer play. Although not together for too long, the epic memories that this great trio left for the history of AC Milan and the history of world football is huge. And people will never forget the image of the Flying Dutch trio playing in the world's grass fields.